So hopefully that lab was pretty fun to watch and to fill out the chart. I'm going to do a quick review of the conclusion of some things that will be important and to help you out if you are stuck on some of the sections. So if you're stuck on a certain question, you can just fast forward the video until you see me talking about it and then stop it and watch it, okay? But we're just going to start with one and work our way down. So number 1 says, which solution is ionically bonded? Support your answer with data. So hopefully from the video you're able to see that A was the one that was ionically bonded. And then over here, make sure that you're supporting the answer with data. So this is going to be things like the visual appearance. It's going to be the melting, the solubility, and the conductivity. So make sure that you do it with multiple of these. Don't just give me one of them. Give me at least 2, 3. You can give me all 4 to support your answer. Number 2, hopefully you saw the covalently bonded one was B. And again, you need to support your answer. So use some of the things up here and talk about, what it visually looked like. Did it melt? Did it conduct electricity? Things like that. All right, the next thing we're going to start talking about these Lewis dots. So in the Lewis dots, we have an Na. And remember, with Lewis dots, you put the element, and then you put the number of valence electrons around it. So Na, it's in group 1A, so it has 1 valence electron. It's going to be bonded with a Cl, and Cl is in group 7A, so it has 7 valence electrons. So this is your starting Lewis dot structure. What's going to happen is we need to draw what it turns into when they bond together. So remember, this is doing an ionic bond, and so ionic bonds are when we transfer an electron over. So we're going to transfer that electron over to Cl. So now we have Na, and Na has now lost an electron. Remember, electrons are negative, so Na lost a negative, so it becomes positive. And then you're going to have a Cl, and this Cl, instead of having 7 valence electrons, it now has 8. So it gained a negative electron. So it now has a negative charge. So this is going to be really important for this next question down here, because it's asking them what holds the bonds together. And so we have an Na plus and a Cl minus, and this plus and this minus charge, they're like a magnet, and they're attracted together. And so there's a strong force. So make sure that you're talking about the charges down here, that there's a plus charge and a negative charge that hold it together. All right, the last question is really tricky, and this is actually going to be a bonus question. There's a link you can click on to go watch a video about this, but I'm going to draw what's happening. So it's saying that we need to use like our Lewis dot models to talk about why it was able to conduct electricity when dissolved in water. So we had our beaker with water, and it had prongs in it, and then it had a light bulb up at the top that was lit up. And in this water, it had dissolved the Na and the Cl. So we had a bunch of positive Nas floating around, and we had a bunch of negative Cls also floating around in this water. And it was able to conduct electricity because of this positive and this negative. So they were able to carry the charge that was needed to each side of the light bulb and light it up. Now, when we had the sugar, this is a different picture, you don't need to draw this, but when we had the sugar in here, it also dissolved, but it was just not in charged particles. So they weren't able to bring any of the charge back and forth, or to the right side. And so it needed to have the plus and the minus to be able to light up the light bulb. So it had to be an ionic bond. All right, hopefully this all made a little bit more sense. Like I said, this question down here is a bonus question, so if that one doesn't make sense to you, it's okay. You don't need to do it, but you will get some extra points if you're able to answer it. Let me know if you have any other questions on the lab, and hope it was a little bit of a fun experience for you.